Alright guys, welcome back for another Nioh 2 video. It's your boy King Red Diamonds, and I'll be continuing on my weapon guide series today. As you can see, we'll be going over the spear. Now, the spear is not my favorite weapon at all. When I first started Nioh, I was just like everybody else who would probably look up videos online to see what's the best weapon, or you Google it, what's the best Nioh 2 starting weapon, what's the best weapon to start off with, and a lot of places would suggest the spear. The reasoning why they would say the spear was because the spear could let you keep your distance. It was also something that worked with Constitution. So, whenever Constitution deals with the life stat, so the more life you have, the more longevity you have for beginners, blah, blah, blah. That is all false. The only thing that's truth to that is that it deals with that it scales with Constitution. Everything else about it being a starting weapon, a good starting weapon for a new player, is completely false. And the reason why I say that it is false is because this weapon is not something that a beginner will be able to use effectively, especially if you don't know anything about the combat system. If you don't know anything about, if you're not really good at key pulsing, if you're not really good at stance switching, if you're not really good at knowing when and where to use techniques, this weapon is not a good beginner weapon. It's not. I don't know where that narrative even came from. With me having over 700 plus hours on this game, I can guarantee you that this is not a beginner friendly weapon. This weapon is more so for adept players to, advanced players. This weapon is for any player who's probably played all the way through the first game, like who played all the way through Dream of the Samurai, and you've gotten to Dream of the Strong. That's when I would suggest using the spear. But as a starting weapon for anyone who is brand new to this series, I would not recommend the spear. Now, that's not to say that the spear is a bad weapon. It's really not. It's not a bad weapon. No weapon in the game is a bad weapon. Every weapon in the game is useful in the right hands. But for a beginner, for someone who's just picked up the game, someone who's just getting into the game, I would not recommend starting with the spear. Just because, again, like I said, it's not something that a beginner will adjust to quickly. Just because it has, it has a good, length, and it allows you to keep your distance at a certain distance from your enemy, it's not good in close quarters combat. If you're inside of a building, say you run into a building or something, or you run into like a house or a hut or something, the spear can bounce off of the walls just because of how long it is as a weapon. Like, you can actually get caught in corners and your spear will bounce off of walls and stuff, so you have to be in wide open areas. The techniques of the spear are very intricate, so like for you to be using certain techniques is not going to work out. So make sure that you have some knowledge of the game's combat system and some knowledge of its base movement and base mechanics before you decide you want to take on using the spear. But before I get into it, again, I ask you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can. That way, I'm getting you guys, as much information as I can on this weapon. But we're going to get into it now. So now we have right here, we have Piercing Rain. It's a combo ender. As you can see, does a few little quick stabs at the end. Boom. We have a Spear Shove, which is pretty much a charging technique that does a good amount of key damage, helps you stagger the enemy. Flying Monkey helps you propel you behind the enemy, get you out of their distance. And then we have Body Swap. Body Swap just pretty much makes you switch positions with the enemy, basically control the fight. It helps you control it helps you control your enemy, but only usually on humans. This will not work on a yokai. You're not gonna be able to, just push a yokai aside. From here, we're gonna go up. We got Spear Flourish. Spear Flourish activates on any key pulse, helps you knock back your enemy. Very good technique, very useful technique. Probably another one of the mainstays of a spear. Spear Flourish, definitely very useful. Definitely get that. Spear Fall, another combo ender in high stance. Windmill, and then Windmill 2 basically allows you to continually spin your spear around your head. basically depending on the amount of ki you have. So if you have a lot of ki, you'll be able to spin your spear like this for a long period of time. Only thing about it is that it's a very stationary technique. As you can see, he does not move. He only moves when you know, let go of this, but other than that, he's stationary. So this technique is not something I would say is useful in terms of continually doing it. Like I wouldn't stand here and do this the entire time. I would probably do it a couple spins, and then once the enemy is out of my range, I would, you know, continue on. um, from here we're gonna move to here. We have twisting spear, which is a charge attack. Very good combo. It's very good end, like a very good last move. Like if your enemy is on their last bit of health and you use this technique, more than likely you're going to finish them off because of the amount of distance it travels. Like this move is a very good farming technique. Definitely useful in like getting your smithing text drops and boss farming and stuff. So not a bad technique at all. Now tornado is actually my favorite of the is my one of my favorites of the spears techniques. It's a combo ender, does a lot of damage, looks pretty cool, and it's also it basically is damn near guaranteed to connect with any enemy you hit, whether they're even blocking or not. Like you're going to hit them with this technique. And the little ground smash right here can actually drain an enemy's ki. So tornado is definitely one of my favorite techniques. We come down to spear shove. We got Chidori. Chidori basically just lifts your enemy to the air if they're low on ki, but only on humans. Resounding lunge is a charge technique as well. Literally just that. This move is not bad at all. You can definitely work it into your fighting style. More so, I wouldn't charge it all the way unless your enemy's like in zero ki and he's staggered. But other than that, using it, you know, just mid combat is not bad at all. Then we're gonna come down to Merciless Barrage. Merciless Barrage, if you press triangle, it's pretty much a grapple. So if you press triangle, if your enemy's out of ki, you'll do this right here. Rising Dragon is a wake up move. Pretty simple. If you're down, just press triangle. I don't usually use these techniques because whenever I'm down, I just try to get up as quickly as possible and get out the way so I don't get attacked while I'm on the ground. We have Rainbow Roost. This one is what happens when you keep pulse in low stance. It just propels you forward to close the distance on the enemy. Not bad at all. Backslash, not something I would use. It literally is just that to help you. It creates a little bit of distance, but it's not enough distance for you to even warrant using it as much. Flying Monkey. Now Flying Monkey is actually another one of my favorite techniques because it goes into Cold the Herd. Little stripper pole dance, and then follow up with a slash. Very good technique. Definitely use this technique a lot in my spear video. We have pole kick. Just like another combo ender. Does a nice amount of ki damage. It doesn't do a lot, but it's good for a little, you know, quick ki damage. We have Wild Spear. This is also another charging technique. I don't use these. This is more like the Tiger Sprint, or like I think it's a move with the axe that has like a charge or something like that. But I don't usually use these techniques just because I'm not leaving myself open to, you know, to attacks by charging head on at the enemy. Now we have Entangle, which is just a sweep technique that knocks the enemy on their back. Not something that's very useful in my opinion. This is another charge technique, not something I would use. Again, every technique is useful, but most of these charge techniques I do not use. We have Water Wheel, another combo ender. Not a bad combo ender at all. Pretty much the spear has a lot of combo enders, so like it helps you continue comboing without having to just keep pressing square all the time. Press triangle, end the combo, reset, keep pulse, get back into position, do whatever. So a lot of combo enders for the spear. And we have a twirl. Twirl is pretty much a parry. That's it. It's a parry. And again, as you know, I don't use parries. So That would actually be all the techniques of the spear. A couple of hidden techniques we got is triple threat. You get this from um, Toshi Maeda, and this one is also from him as well. Uh, Bracing Breeze, which is over here in the corner. You get this from Toshi as well, and then you get this also from Toshi. This one, the triple threat, is actually very good. It's very powerful. And then this one right here is again a parry. So if you want to use it, by all means. But yeah, we're going to get into it. Actually, I'll go over the Mystic Arts too. We get stability right here, and then the other Mystic Art is where is it? Where are you, sir? Here it is. Boom. Fluidity. Fluidity basically allows you to do this technique from any stance. That's it. And then this one right here increases the force of your thrust while also expanding the range of your attacks, extending the range of your attacks. So both of these techniques are very, very useful and probably should be used at the same time. So Mystic Dyad on your spear is probably something that you want to do. You definitely want to get Mystic Dyad on your spear. But we're gonna move on to our skills, which ones we use. So obviously we're gonna get all 4 of these because we have to. Excuse me. All right, so we have to. Boom, boom, boom. This one right here, Flying Monkey, and probably Piercing Rain are the ones that you're gonna go focus on first, probably. Flying Monkey most likely first. That way you can get that out the way. Also because of its usefulness in battle, helps you literally get away from your enemy. This one's a combo ender, so you're gonna need it. This right here is literally just like a key destroyer. It's a shove, like it's like a key, a sword key or something like that. So these 3 are the main ones you want to get first. Body swap can come last. You don't need this. If you want to use it, by all means do so, but you do not need it. Next, we're gonna go with Spear Flourish, and then we can work our way up to. Do I want to get one? No, I don't want to get windmill because again, this is stationary, but it is useful. So I guess I'll grab this one because I don't need this one right here. This one just extends the time of the spin. You don't need it. It's not really that useful, and when you're standing still. Next, we're gonna get our Tornado. Definitely get this. As you can see, you can only get this when you hit Veteran on the Way of the Warrior. So whenever you get there, definitely grab this. Kind of don't need this, but then again, I want to get this, so I'm going to grab this. But this I don't really need, because I'm not worried about, you know, doing this extra technique just because they're out of key. It's not really useful. Now this right here, definitely grabbing because this is pretty much a grapple. This is a wake up move, don't need, so I'm going to skip that. Definitely getting this just because when you key pulse, it allows you to propel yourself forward. Don't need that. Don't need this. Definitely going to grab Cold to Hurt, Flying Monkey, Cold to Hurt. Definitely need both of these. Pole kick is not bad. Again, it is like a nice combo ender to help with you know, doing some key damage, but it's not something that you're going to like see a huge return on. It's not something that's like a big damage dealer. It's more of like a combo setup. So like, let's say you do this and they're low on key, and then boom, you hit them with a pole kick, you'll pretty much drain their key, knock them off balance, and they'll be over for a grapple. I can grab it, but like again, it's not something that's going to be like purely useful. Entangle, again, this is something that just knocks them on their feet, don't really knock them on their butt, don't really need it. Don't need this as well. Water Wheel is actually a nice combo ender, so I can grab that. And then Twirl, again, I'm not going to grab just because again, I don't use parries and stuff. So out of all the techniques I have Spear Flourish, Spear Fall, Windmill, Piercing Rain, obviously, Twisting Spear, and Tornado. I have a triple threat. Obviously, that's this is a hidden skill, so that's one already active. Resounding lunge, definitely wanted this. Not really going to use Chidori as much. Spear shove, definitely merciless barrage because that's a grapple. We have rainbow roost. Excuse me. For the key post and the propulsion forward. Flying monkey into call the herd. Pole kick for like a nice utility move, and then we have water wheel. Next, we're going to get our mystic arts, and we're going to equip our stability. Now, with the extra techniques, with the extra skills and stuff, obviously you want to get your passes to the afterlife, want to get your armor piercer, but you also want to get your rule of thrusting. You want to get that. The spear is a thrusting weapon, so having rule of thrusting increases your damage by 6%. That's an extra 6% damage on your spear whenever using a thrust attack. The spear is a thrusting weapon, so you'll be getting this return a lot with the spear. So make sure you get your rule of thrusting. Always get that when you use a spear. Any other things you need will be shadow strike, and then honestly that is actually it. You don't really need relentless. We can grab it just because we have enough points to get it, but you don't really need it. And everything else is not really useful. Anything I just go with melee mastery. But yep, these are all the techniques I would go with. Again, you can screenshot it, take a picture of it, see if you like the techniques, use them, try them out, and let me know. But yep, we're gonna get right into the other half of the video, so I will see you guys in the second half. Alright guys, so I'm back in the second half of the video, and I'm going to show you my skill breakdown, and then we'll get into the gameplay, how I use the skills and everything like that. So first we're going to go with change this to merciless barrage. The normal grapple is fine, but merciless barrage, it's really not a difference except for cosmetic reasons. You won't be able to use merciless barrage on a yokai, so why not just equip it anyway, since it doesn't matter regardless. So we'll go down stability. I'm not using fluidity because all it does is turn every other stance key pulse into a spear flourish. So I'm going to go with stability just for the increased damage and range. In the top slot, tornado every time, just because I want to do a lot of damage. So tornado definitely in our top spot. Triple threat. We're not using spear shove or windmill right now. Triple threat is my go-to for the high stance. Resounding lunge, gotta go with that. Spear flourish, gotta go with that. Twisting spear, self-explanatory, gotta go with that. Good for finishing off enemies of low health or low key. I'm gonna go with pole kick in my mid stance. I could go with tornado, but pole kick is it's a good utility move. If the enemy is low on key, use it, knock them out, drain their key completely. Spear shove, definitely in place of triple threat. Bracing breeze. This one right here is going to be a good technique to use if you are good at countering. Again, I'm not a counter person. I don't usually use those. The only reason I'm using this right here is because I have resounding lunge up here, and I do like to give myself a little bit more variety when I'm using techniques. Sometimes I will equip the same techniques in different slots in different stances, but in terms of the spear, just having this in your back pocket is not bad, especially since with the spear it is a bit easier to time counters just because of the large size of the weapon. So I'll keep bracing breeze right here. Twisting spear has to go there, only one that goes in that slot. Again, pole kick, I could go Chidori or tornado, but again, Chidori would only work if the enemy's out of key, and only works on human enemies, not on yokai enemies, so no point in having that. Flying monkey, only one that goes there. Spear shove, gonna keep that right there. Resounding lunge, again, go right there. Rainbow roost, this is the only one that goes here, and then twisting spear is the only one that goes there. So as my skills are set up, most of these literally only have one technique in every slot, so they're the only ones that will fit into that slot anyway, so there's no point in me having to worry about which techniques to put there. But if you want to look at it, pause the video, Go slow, like, go slow so you can see what I got. That's it. So we're gonna get right into the fighting. But yeah, so spears, as you can, like, when I say spears aren't really good in close combat, like, it's like a lot of movements and stuff is kind of weird in corners and everything. Like, it's not something that, like, you want to use in corners. But yep, let's get this guy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come over here. Again, see how I used the pole kick? He had literally almost 0 key left, and I used pole kick at the right time. And as you saw, I used that parry at the right time. Like I said, it's a lot easier to use the parry with the spear. I got caught, but it's a lot easier to use the parry with the spear than any other weapon. Like, using the parry with the spear, it makes it easier because, like, again, it's a big weapon. So being able to time your parries is a lot more simple with this weapon rather than a sword, which has a shorter distance. So it's like it seems a little more difficult. And that finishes him off. But yeah, as you can see, the spear is not a bad weapon at all. It just takes a lot of getting used to, like using the certain techniques, knowing when to use other techniques, knowing when to, you know, counter, when to use another, like use like the technique that you know is going to finish off the enemy or do the most amount of damage at a time. It's just all about, you know, using that weapon as much as possible. So again, not something I would recommend for a beginner player. Like, the spear is definitely a more adept to advanced range player's weapon. Which next technique should finish him off? So I thought. This should finish him off right here. There we go. Nice. But yeah, that is your spear. As you can see, it's a nice. Honestly, I like the spear's techniques. I'm just not a fan of its, you know, of how difficult it could be to use it. You know, like using the spear is not something that's easy. It's not something that you're just gonna figure out like day one. You're going to have to play around with it to know what techniques to use. Like you're going to. It's not something that you're just going to be able to use like just picking up the game or something. Like just make sure if you do want to use it that you're practicing. Come here, practice. Make sure that you got them down. That way if you go into the depths, you're not just getting destroyed. But that's it for this video. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Again, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know any feedback you may have. I'm always here to answer questions. I talk to everybody. I get back to as many people as I possibly can. I make sure that I answer your questions in a timely manner. I like interacting with you guys. I like hearing what you have to say. I like your feedback. So continue to please give me the feedback and let me know how you guys feel. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know anything you need to tell me. But it's King Red Diamonds, and I'm out.